Stop decorating your house with things that scream, "I bought this from a discount bin." Because here's the truth. Some of the most expensive-looking home decor you'll ever see is made with yarn, a crochet hook, and about $10 worth of supplies. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what to make and how to style it so your home looks like something out of a magazine. Now, before you scroll past thinking this is just another make a granny square and put it on the couch video, it's not. We're talking real, elevated pieces that guests are actually going to stop and ask about. Pieces that people will assume cost way more than they did. And yes, you can make all of them even if you're still pretty new to crochet. Let's get into it. So first, let me tell you why crochet decor gets overlooked so often. Most people see a crocheted item and immediately think of something their grandma had hanging on the wall in 1987. And honestly, some of that has to do with the patterns people choose, the yarn they use, and how they style the finished piece. The actual craft is not the problem. The choices around it are. When you use the right colors, think neutral, warm tones, earthy shades, creamy whites, and you pair that with a modern shape or a clean silhouette, the whole thing shifts. It stops looking handmade in a dated way and starts looking intentional, like you went to an artisan market and found something one of a kind. That's the energy we're going for. Let's start with the first piece, because this one alone can completely transform a room. Macrame-style wall hangings get all the credit, but a crochet wall hanging done right? That's a whole different level. What makes it look expensive is texture. You want a piece that has movement, dimension, layers. Think long fringe at the bottom, maybe some raised bobble stitches or puff stitches in the middle section, and a clean, structured top that hangs from a wooden dowel. The yarn matters a lot here. Don't go for the regular acrylic stuff if you can help it. Look for a chunky cotton or even a jute blend yarn in an off-white, oatmeal, or warm beige. These textures photograph beautifully. They feel natural and they pair with almost any interior style, whether your home leans boho, Scandinavian, minimalist, or even a little rustic. Size also matters. A small wall hanging on a large wall looks like you didn't finish decorating. Go big. If your wall is wide, make a wide piece. If your wall is tall, let that fringe drape down dramatically. When it fills the space, it becomes the focal point of the room instead of an afterthought. And here's a styling tip that people sleep on. Hang it slightly off-center above a console table or a shelf with a few intentional objects underneath. A small plant, a candle, maybe one or two books laid flat. That combination looks like it was styled by a professional. Now let's talk about something for the living room. Chunky crochet cushion covers. Not the ones with complicated color work that end up looking busy, just solid, textured covers in a neutral palette, the kind you'd see on a couch in a high-end furniture showroom. The stitch choice is what makes these stand out. A bobble stitch cover, a popcorn stitch cover, or even a simple but thick moss stitch, these all create that satisfying dimensional look that makes a cushion feel premium. It has weight to it, it has texture. When someone walks into your living room and sees those cushions on your couch, they're not thinking, "Oh, she made those." They're thinking, "Where did she get those?" Use a size 6 or chunky weight cotton yarn for these. The cotton keeps it looking clean and structured rather than fluffy and dated. Stick to 2 or 3 cushions on a couch and use a mix of sizes. One larger square, 2 smaller ones. Keep the colors in the same family. You don't want to go ivory and then bright mustard. You want ivory and a soft, warm sand. Subtle contrast, not a clash. And don't forget the insert. A flat, saggy cushion inside a gorgeous cover ruins everything. Get a firm, good quality insert that's slightly bigger than your cover so it fills out properly. That little detail makes the whole thing look intentional. Next up, the table runner. Crochet table runners have had a huge moment recently, and I think people are just starting to realize why. A linen or cotton crochet runner down the center of a dining table or coffee table adds this layer of softness and handcraft that no store-bought runner can replicate. It has that lived-in, collected over time feeling that expensive homes always have. For a dining table, you want a runner that's long. Think at least 60 inches, maybe longer depending on your table. A simple lace-style pattern works beautifully here because it's delicate without being fussy. You don't need a complicated pattern. Even a basic shell stitch or a simple mesh pattern in a neutral cotton looks stunning when it's the right length and lays flat. Blocking your finished piece is non-negotiable for this one. After you finish, wet it, pin it out to its full dimensions, and let it dry flat. This makes everything even, crisp, and professional looking. A blocked runner versus an unblocked one, you'd think they were made by two completely different people. Style it with some low candles, a small vase of dried stems or eucalyptus, and maybe a bowl of fruit or some decorative objects. Keep it simple. The runner does the work. Now let's move into the bedroom, because this is where crochet decor is genuinely underused. A crochet bed throw is one of those items that changes the entire feel of a bedroom. You know how in hotel rooms there's always that layer at the end of the bed, a folded blanket or a throw, and it makes the whole bed look intentional and put together. That's what this does. You want to make something that looks casually draped, but has enough visual interest to stand on its own. A simple ripple pattern or a wide stripe pattern in 2 or 3 complementary neutrals works really well. Think warm white, a deep taupe, and maybe a soft terracotta or muted sage, depending on your bedroom colors. The yarn matters a lot here. Don't go for the regular acrylic stuff if you can help it. Look for a chunky cotton or even a jute blend yarn in an off-white, oatmeal, or warm beige. These textures photograph beautifully. They feel natural and they pair with almost any interior style, whether your home leans boho, Scandinavian, minimalist, or even a little rustic. Size also matters. You want something that's big, enough to casually drape over the corner of the bed or folded messily over the end. That casual, effortless look is what makes it feel like something you'd see in an anthropology photo shoot. Let me give you one more piece before we get into some general styling advice, and this one is small, but it's so impactful. Crochet plant pod covers. If you have any plants in your home, and honestly, plants are one of the easiest ways to make any space look more elevated, a crochet plant pot cover is the move. You keep the plastic nursery pot inside and just slip your crocheted cover over it. It immediately makes the whole thing look put together. The texture you choose matters here. A simple ribbed pattern looks modern and clean. A basket weave pattern adds that earthy, artisan feel. Keep the yarn neutral. Natural cotton, jute, hemp. These materials look like they belong with plants because they feel organic and grounded. Make a few in different sizes and group them together on a windowsill or in a corner of the room. 3 plants at different heights with matching crocheted covers. That's a vignette that looks like it cost you a lot of money. It didn't. That's the whole point. Okay, so now let me talk about the thing that ties all of this together, because you can make all of these pieces perfectly and still have them fall flat if you don't think about this. It's cohesion. The reason expensive-looking homes look expensive is not because every single item is high quality. It's because everything feels like it belongs together. There's a thread running through the space, a color story, a consistent vibe. So before you start making anything, sit down and look at your space. What colors are already there? What's the general feeling? Warm and cozy, cool and minimal, natural and earthy. Pick your yarn colors based on what's already working in your room, not just what looks good in the skein at the store. That oatmeal cotton might look boring on the shelf, but it becomes the perfect piece in a room with warm wood tones and white walls. Also, think about scale. A few large, well-placed crochet pieces will always look better than a bunch of small ones scattered everywhere. It's the difference between a gallery wall with intention and a wall covered in random stuff. Edit yourself. Choose the pieces that make the biggest impact in the spaces you spend the most time. And lastly, finishing. I cannot stress this enough. Weave in your ends properly. Block things that need to be blocked. Sew on any buttons or attachments neatly. The difference between a finished piece that looks homemade and one that looks high-end is almost always in the finishing. Take the extra 20 minutes. It's worth it every single time. Crochet home decor does not have to look crafty or cheap or dated. With the right yarn, the right patterns, and a little thought about how you style everything, you can fill your home with pieces that look genuinely beautiful and completely one of a kind. Because they are. Nobody else has exactly what you made. And that, honestly, is more valuable than anything you could buy at a store. So pick one of these pieces, start with the one that excites you the most, and just go for it. Your home is going to thank you. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.